Stomach 36 is located approximately 13 sun superior to the prominence of the lateral malleolus on the anterior border of tibialis anterior. The easiest way to find it is to palpate down the tibial tuberosity. Find the base of the tibial tuberosity and move slightly laterally until you fall into a nice dip on the anterior border of tibialis anterior. This point is also 3 sun inferior to the inferior border of the patella.
Large intestine 4, you're going to find the length of the second metacarpal bone. So running your finger down, finding the base, making sure that you're not actually on the carpal bones themselves, finding the midpoint of that shaft of bone, coming between the first and second metacarpals, nearer to the second than the first in the muscle.
Sanjiao points on the forearm are best located with the arm laying flat on the bed and the elbow turned outwards. To find Sanjiao 5, come 2 sun proximal to Sanjiao 4 in between the radius and the ulna. You should be on the radial side of the tendon of extensor digitorum communis. If the person wiggles their fingers, this tendon will come into relief. Large intestine 17 is located 1 sun inferior to large intestine 18, but on the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid. If the person turns the head against resistance, it should be quite easy to locate the sternal body of the sternocleidomastoid. Mark your point 1 sun inferior and then have them relax their neck. Sanjiao 17 is located in a dip behind the earlobe. It's between the ramus of the mandible and the mastoid process. Be careful that you don't put this point on bone, it's in between the bones in a dip. To locate gallbladder 20, palpate up the groove in between the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles. As you get to the base of the occiput, you will find a nice depression. Gallbladder 20 is in the centre of that depression. Stomach 8 is located directly superior to stomach 6 and stomach 7. So run your finger up in a line from stomach 6 and stomach 7, projecting up onto the corner of the head until you're in a nice depression just superior to the temporalis muscle. Sanjiao 22 is located in a nice depression about half a sun anterior to the upper root of the ear. Gallbladder 7 is located 1 finger breadth directly anterior to Sanjiao 20. Stomach 4 is located 4 fen lateral to the corner of the mouth. It's in the nasolabial groove. Have the person smile, and you can see this point falls nicely into that groove. Stomach 5 is located directly anterior to the angle of the mandible. So the first thing you need to do is to locate the angle of the mandible correctly. Palpate along its posterior border, inferior border, until you find where the jaw is changing direction. Then come forwards over the masseter muscle. If a person clenches their masseter muscle, you'll be able to find a nice groove just as its anterior border, and this is your stomach 5. Ren 24 is on the anterior midline in the centre of the mentolabial groove.